Well, first, I thought it was a great game. The two teams basically mirrored each other. We hit a lot of balls hard. It's like either team could get the big hit. I mean, Brian hit a ball about as hard as you can hit it in the first inning with the bases loaded, and we ended up getting a sac fly out of it. And there were some other balls that we squared up. They squared up some balls, and we picked off a couple of their runners. They picked off one of ours, and I thought the pitching for both teams was outstanding. Both pins were good, and feel fortunate to win. We played a lot of one-run games this year, so we were actually very comfortable with it. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Questions for the student athletes, and if you will, please let us know to whom you're directing your question. Let's start front row on the end.
For Chris, you shut down that offense twice now this year. I mean, what's your approach against that lineup? What's helped you be so successful in your zone?
Getting that off speed over has played a huge part in it. I had the fastball a little more when we played them in the conference series at Ole Miss. I didn't really have it today. I had the velocity, which helped with the off speed, helped keep them off the off speed a little bit. But I think their approach was different today. I could tell they only struck out once. Then again, I didn't have a fastball today, but they had a lot better approach today.
Front row, Mike's right behind you. Go ahead.
Just for Jacob, you can talk about striking out Allen, the guy's hitting 360, games on the line. Just talk about that sequence, how big that was, and if the other two players can just talk about their reaction to what Jacob did there and the way he closed it down.
Yeah, Allen's a pretty big hitter for that squad. So to come in that situation and get a strikeout on that guy, that was huge for our team and our momentum heading into the ninth inning. And that was just a big situation. Gives us confidence for that ninth, come in there and get some insurance running and get the win for Chris right there.
Other questions? Come over here to the left side, front row.
Chris, I know a lot of people kind of talk about your curveball and the fastball, but just talk about how you kind of felt your stuff was today. It seemed like you're able to really make several pitches and throw strikes.
Yeah, I work with 3 pitches: four-seam fastball, curveball, and changeup. I threw the changeup a lot in the Cape this summer, and it came along. Now it's probably my secondary pitch. I think it bypassed my curveball, but I still like breaking balls to righties, and I throw the fastball whenever. I just got to get some feel for the fastball.
Other questions? Give us a sec. We'll get the mic to you.
This is for all 3 guys. You guys are 8-1 since that Sunday win at Ole Miss. You just talk about the confidence you're playing with. What do you think's got you guys going so well there late in the year?
Why don't we start down at the end, and then we'll work our way this way.
Oh, yeah, I just feel like we're getting hot at the right time. We're playing really good baseball right now. I think we're, like you said, 8-1 our last 9 SEC contests. So it's really big for this team to get rolling right now, and just great time to do it here at the SEC tournament.
Yeah, I agree. I think the big thing is the pitching's been pretty great all year. Now the bats are just starting to click, and that's what we need, especially in the postseason. Bats are getting hot.
Yeah, I mean, just to go along with what they said, I think we have some young guys on this team, and we're really starting to come together, as a full squad. And our pitching's been there for us all year. We're just able to put a few runs up here and there for them. We know guys like Jacob Stone are going to shut the door, and from an offensive standpoint, we're just trying to scratch and claw to get whatever we can for them, because they're going out and battling for us every outing.
Maybe one more question for the student athletes, if there is one. Go ahead.
I guess this is for Brian. You guys are playing LSU tomorrow. They bring a lot of fans here. Just talk about facing LSU and how tough an atmosphere this might be, because they're going to have a lot of people. It might be almost like a road game for you guys again.
It's going to be a challenge, and I think we're going to have to take it for what it is. And I think it's going to help us that we played at LSU this year, so we've kind of faced that before. It's just a little bit of adversity, and we faced 2 Friday guys already, and probably going to face another one tomorrow. Really solid pitcher, and we're looking forward to the challenge. Whoever we throw out there is going to give us a quality outing, and we're going to try and put up some runs for them.
Jacob, Chris, Brown, you guys welcome to head back to your locker room. We'll continue just for a few more minutes with Coach Van Horn. Thank you, guys. Questions for Coach? We'll start over here on the left.
Dave, I guess from your standpoint, kind of assess Chris today, and also kind of talk about his evolution this year. I know we all kind of expected him to make an easy transition to starter, but it's not always easy.
Well, I thought I pitched really well today. You know, he threw a lot of strikes. When he did get behind, it seemed like he was always, for the most part, able to make that pitch to get the count back to 2-1 or whatever the case may be at the time, and you know, get back into the count. He challenged a lot of hitters today. Mixed it up well. I just thought he threw a good ball game. You know, he made it sound like he didn't throw real well. I thought he threw well. To me, it's not about strikeouts. It's about pitching and getting out and getting in the dugout. And, you know, we're one starter down right now, not having Jalen Beeks in this tournament. And so the more innings we can squeeze out of the first couple of starters, it helps us, especially since we're going to be in the tournament for at least 2 more games. So I was proud of him there. And then his development. You know, I've known Chris since he was in high school, in same high school as my daughter. He's a grade ahead of her. So I've had a chance to see him. I saw him compete in basketball and different things. And I knew he had that in him. You know, played a small division and, you know, just mostly summer ball in the area. So he had a little ways to go. And, you know, it's about a 29th round pick out of high school, just basically as there was some potential there. And I think Coach Jordan's done a tremendous job with him. Basically, you know, working with him, teaching him, but not giving him an inch. He stayed on him. And, you know, whenever Chris would fight him, he'd fight him back. And he's really grown up. I'm really proud of him. He's made a move, not only physically, but also mentally, and that's probably the main thing with him. And he's very confident.
Other questions for Coach? Front row.
Dave, well, first off, is Stone your closer now? And talk about the job he did, especially striking out Allen with the, you know, go-ahead runs on base.
Yeah, we kind of made a decision, I'd say, I don't know, 8-10 days ago that Stone was going to be our closer probably at this time, just because we felt like Gunn was struggling a little bit. He was, you know, giving up some runs. And, you know, I think it went back to the Texas A&M game, and then there was another game in there where he didn't, you know, he wasn't able to do what he's been doing all year. And sometimes that just happens, the way the game works. Like a hitter goes into a little bit of a slump. We felt like we would just use Mike earlier and bring Jacob in to try to finish things up, or, you know, not necessarily just the 9th inning, but to get a big out in the 7th, 8th, and then just finish it, because he's shown that he can do that. He did that at Missouri. He's done it a few times down the stretch. And then, you know, I thought he did a tremendous job against Austin Anderson, a 3-0 hitter. You know, he had him 0-2, but it was a left-handed hitter against a right-handed pitcher. But we had a base open. Obviously, that would be the go-ahead run, but we were really pitching around him. And Anderson had a tremendous at-bat, ended up getting a walk. And then Will Allen, he fought off a couple of fastballs when he was behind in the count. And deep down, he probably thought he was going to get something off speed. Those were some pretty good swings. And then he just kind of froze him with that knee-high fastball, and it was a great pitch.
Final questions for Coach Van Horn? Left side.
Dave, you get Aaron Nola tomorrow. What's it like for your team to face him? And then second part of the question is, what's your pitching plan tomorrow?
Well, the first part, I mean, Nola's as good as it gets in this league and maybe in college baseball the last couple of seasons. And, you know, we faced him once this year. And, you know, when he went out of the game, I don't know, it was 5-2 or something, pitched really well. So it's definitely a big challenge. You know, he's on regular schedule for the most part. He's had a little more rest than our guys got. And, you know, it's a guy you better go up there swinging, because he's going to be around the plate. And you just got to hope that you make contact, you can find a hole or two and score a few runs. But who we're going to throw tomorrow, we're not sure yet, to be honest with you. And that's kind of unusual for us. But we'll piece it together. Whoever does start, you know, it'll probably be about 3 innings each, and we'll go to the next guy. So we'll try to get that out here in the next few hours.
Is there a last question? Last one, right here.
I guess you kind of hit on this yesterday, but I'll ask you. You guys you started this run you're on at Ole Miss. You're 8-1. You're beating some pretty good teams. Your hitting seems to be coming around. Just talk about how confident how well you guys are playing here of late.
Yeah, you know, the game we lost to Ole Miss on Saturday, before we started really putting it together, we scored 4 runs in the first inning. Our catcher got KO'd on a play at the plate and had a concussion. Had to put in, you know, another catcher. He ended up pulling a hamstring the next day, and all of a sudden I'm pulling a catcher out of redshirting. I just think the team, we just told them you got to band together. We got to figure out how we're going to get this done. And, we just had guys step it up. I asked some guys to step it up. We got to have freshmen. We put Clark Egan in the lineup against A&M the next weekend. He hits a home run. We've been winning ever since we put him in the leadoff spot. Somehow, some way, whether we score 8 runs or 2 runs, we've found ways to win. I just think the team has started clicking and come together a little bit, and sometimes that's what it takes. We're just on a little bit of a roll. If we can get Jalen Beeks back, who actually hurt his arm in that game on that Saturday, that would really help us, down the road in a regional. I just think that with all the problems we've had with the injuries, guys just rallied together and said we're going to have to find a way to do it, and they've done it.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.